Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time out of your busy week to tune in to us, myself, and Mr. Setrav, right here on the Switch It Up Show. We have not one, but two reviews for you, the people, right here on our show, and I personally am going to be reviewing a little game called Coloring Book. But before I ask you, Mr. Setrav, what game you're going to be covering, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm trying it out. You know, I'm surviving. I'm living as best I can. Doing the whole thing. Gonna be taking a little trip to paradise later on the show. Push Pipe Paradise, which, spoiler alert, it may be anything but.
Oh, well, let's prepare ourselves with a few sweet tunes to hopefully, you know, harshen the blow. Alright, Mr. Setrav, as I mentioned, I am going to be reviewing Coloring Book. Now, you don't really strike me as somebody who colors inside the lines. Were you a big colorer, I think that's the term, in your childhood?
I was a bigger sketcher, if you would. Like the shoes. To match my shoes, I would sketch often and a lot. I like to do just characters, things in pencil. Or, you know, I'd get the box of crayons and completely jack up a tablecloth.
Oh, sounds horrible.
No, I maybe did that like once or twice. I learned my lesson quick and well. But then it was just, you know, draw things. What about you? You color a lot?
You know, I always like to try to color, but I was never really that. I was not that good. You know, like I feel like some kids like I would see like would color and they'd be like so good at it. Their lines would be like
they shade it.
Yeah, like they were in like a whole nother league.
They throw shade by shading.
That's it. I don't know if there's like a league of professional colorers. Like, do you think there's somebody who like
colorists?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure comic books have them.
No, but they just
it's a job.
They just color by hand. They do it all.
Yeah, that's what they do.
It's amazing.
Other people do like the line work and the inking, and then they do the coloring to add more depth.
I'm talking about they're sitting out with a box of Crayolas.
I mean, if that's their art medium, yeah.
That's the level. That's the level I want. If you are a professional colorist, coloring with Crayola, paying the bills, let us know over on Switch It Up Show. I want to hear a little bit about the truth that is Coloring Book. Now, what's interesting about this Coloring Book, this game, is this is one of the only games that we've played so far, and I think it might be the only that is the low price of free.
And so they say.
And of course, you know, we keep the streak going with 0 gold coins when you buy this free game. However, the DLC, some extra coloring pages, 36 new drawings, that is in fact $4.99. But that is okay because you're going to get 48 beautiful drawings divided into 8 pages with unique themes. Jungle and space, in case you're wondering, they are already available. Cats, ocean, farm, girls' room, construction site, and dinosaurs are easily purchasable. No limits to your creativity because you have a palette of 89 colors for fantastic nuances, 9 tools for advanced effects and convenience, a brush that always paints inside the contours, for example. Use the touchscreen or the buttons on the Joy-Con controller. If you're using the Joy-Con controller and the buttons to paint with, to color with this, you are a madman. I don't know how you could possibly do
hard.
that. That's horrifying. You can share your creations with up to 4 players can color at the same time. You can save your images and easily view them in your album. And with its large range of color options, Coloring Book is the perfect for young or old children. Old children, why does it say that? Can also be,
you an old child.
But can also be a great way to relax for adults. New drawings might be available in future updates. Who knows?
Maybe.
Believe it or not, if it sounds like I struggle getting through that, I cleaned it up. Like, it is far more, broken in the description for the game. But Coloring Book, let me tell you, this game's free, alright? So the fact that it's free, hey, they're doing the work for you. And this is like just a kid's coloring game. You have pretty much every color under the sun. you get different things that you can color with. There's pencils, there's different paint brushes with different tips on it. The brushes can be like an actual big thick paintbrush, like you're like painting a fence, like you're like Huck Finn or something. You have a
Nice.
spray can. There's those brushes with like the real thin bristles. Then there's one that's got a bunch of bristles. There's a traditional paintbrush. There's a more square paintbrush. There's a can of paint that you can just throw on there. And then there's like that metal thing that like Bob Ross uses sometimes. So he wants to add like some mountains or something.
It's like a scraper. I don't even know the utensil.
It looks crazy. But the paint can is actually a fill thing. So if you want to be, like if you're like me and you're not the best person at coloring, but you still want to be able to create a beautiful picture, you can use that to click on the different spots and like, you know, make your picture come together in a more professional manner other than like struggling to color it in. You do have like the ability to pick between all different types of colors on here. So just like you would pick between like a color wheel in like, you know, in Paint or in Photoshop, you have a bunch of colors here. Not quite as many, you know, you can't like, it's not like how you can see the color code as you drag over them, but there's a lot of colors to pick from. A bunch of like cool like kids pictures. Like they mentioned, like, you know, space, farm, animals, construction sites, dinosaurs, stuff like that. It looks just like your average coloring book would for children. One thing I didn't like is that, you know, since they give you so many different ways to paint, there's no zoom or anything like that. So if you're having a little bit of a harder time coloring inside the lines, in this game, you're like, too bad. Like, you're going to struggle. So, like, I don't know if you can... I don't have a stylus for the Switch. This was something where it would definitely come in handy.
It felt like it would have helped. Definitely did.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like it has, like... It's very accurate. Like, when I touch it and I color, it definitely works, and it colors in the general area, but it's
I think
not,
we have fat fingers.
Maybe, but I tried to, like, almost use, like, more, like, my nail or, like, the tip of my finger, and I didn't notice that it was
You
doing...
don't want to be scratching your screen up?
I got a screen protector on there. I'm professional.
Oh my god.
I'm professional, man. Let me tell you, putting a screen protector on the Switch, nightmare. But
Yeah.
the fact that this game is free, like, you know, depending on like the age of you know, like a kid that's playing this, like the fact that you can just give them 48 things to color with and they can save all the drawings and it's not making a mess everywhere, like that's pretty good, man. Like that's hard to argue with, and like I said, especially the fact that it's free. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. I do think, like, one of the big things that's around now is the fact that you can, like, you know, there's all these adult coloring books, you know, like Game of Thrones coloring
I've seen
books
a lot
and
of
stuff like that.
It's a little weird.
It's a little strange, but, like, you know, some people just like to relax and draw, and maybe you don't want to have to, you know, it's just, you know, your drawing is right there for you. You can just fill it in and focus on making it look nice. So that's cool. You know, you only have so much time in the day. A lot of worse things you can do than sit and color. It'd be cool if they had different, like, you know, sponsored, like, packs for adults in here, because this is definitely a kid's game as it sits. It'd be neat if you had an option to be able to import some of your own drawings in here. That would be cool. Like, if you could, like, add things to the album and grab them out of here. I see a lot of potential for this. But I don't know. The fact that it's just this kid's coloring book, it does that job really well. I do wish there was a zoom, but aside from that, like, you know, it completes what it sets out to do. I feel like this is a 3.5. This gets the job done. It's not gonna blow you away, but it's gonna be better than you expect. And they're giving it away. It's free, and you're getting almost 50 drawings. So coloring book 3.5 right here on the Switch It Up Show.
I dig that.
Hey man,
Definitely dig that.
definitely.
So, as I had mentioned, we are going to be talking about Push Pipe Paradise. It is $10.99 when you get it on the Nintendo eShop. Plum in the Sun. Push Paradise is a challenging plumbing-based puzzle game. You've arrived on a lonely island faced with a hero's calling. Rise to the occasion, push pipes around, and restore this paradise to its former glory. Features pipes, tile-based gameplay, 47 elegant puzzles packed with surprising mechanical twists, lush and relaxing art and music by Teodoro Zamudio, supports the following languages: English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Brazil, Russian, and simplified Chinese by our good friends over at Diggerati. So, I did this for the Basic Boy Gaming on our YouTube channel, which you can get to by going to www.preach.us and then clicking the YouTube link. You'll be able to find it there. This game is hard. I just want to say that. This game is hard and it's confusing. For a very basic puzzle game, which seems like it's going to be one of those just, okay, get the pipe to connect somehow from point A to point B, which is basically what you do. It's hard because of the mechanics that they use for it. They have a way of giving you a pipe, and you have to be able to flip it in such a way by pushing it. That's the only way to flip, unless you find in later levels you get spots that will actually turn it for you and stuff like that. But when you have to actually flip it, it's so confusing and kind of frustrating. The graphics in it are really good. It's cute, and it does feel very tropical and modern, kind of flat at times, but it is very 3D. The music is really, really great. I would listen to this OST just to like kind of relax and enjoy my time. And there's a neat little story. Like there's a kind of storyline about how your dad was like a great plumber, and now you've got to come back and kind of find him and save the island that you grew up on, sort of deal, which is cool, you know, because it's just a puzzle game. It doesn't need that kind of stuff. You could have literally just dropped the person in there and been like, you gotta push this stuff, and that would have been fine. But they took the extra mile and they did give it some decent story. But that being said, it's kind of confusing and frustrating to go around and actually push this stuff. One of our good friends of the show, Writer's Review, that's with a Y, her name's Blue Williams, she was playing this as well, and confided in me that she was amazingly frustrated by it and couldn't even do it for a hot minute. That is, she persevered, and so did I. Didn't have as bad a time as she did, but I think it was pretty good. Again, though, it's like overly difficult for what I feel like is no reason. And there's a lot of like, God, why can I not just move this? It should be moving with me. But eventually you do kind of pick it up, like how the grid system works and how to actually make the pipe twist in the way that you need it to twist. Because of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give it, again, wild for us, I was going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I don't know what it is, man. We always seem to end up like matching up with our scores. It's just fate.
Yeah, it seems like that we both chose these games that, lately we've just been on the same wavelength with our scoring.
It's nice, man.
And the games we're throwing out.
Because we don't talk about it in advance. We don't even talk about like our experience. We really just save it for like the show itself.
We do, which is pretty interesting that we both keep coming to the same kind of conclusion with our games, despite how different they are. They still give you and take you down the same kind of road when you switch it up, you know?
Yes, sir, indeed they do. And ladies and gentlemen, let us know, if you've played either of these games, let us know what your score is, what you take away, and hopefully you enjoyed the show. But if we ever do get boring, you can always switch it up.